Everything on our planet, both living and lifeless, holds a unique connection to one another, a bond unbreakable by even the most persistent element on Earth: time. Beyond the connections between biotic organisms lies the bonds between the living and the inanimate, from tides determining feeding times of crustaceans to a soil composition determining plant life. However, within these interactions lies a more consequential relationship that has caused the dramatic alteration of the planet: humans and the environment. The rapidly deteriorating state of our oceans and congested skies, along with the nearing fatal ascension of our global temperatures, sees its impact on every speck of the Earth's surface. With changes this large scale, it is almost ironic how this turn of events has amounted almost entirely from the actions of one single species: Homo sapiens. Throughout our time on the planet, we have chipped away at its lifespan, whether it be by overharvesting or pollution. Today, we are examining a smaller scale example of how interactions between humans and the environment can shift life as we see it, specifically within the Ythan Estuary in northeast Scotland. Despite only occupying 80,240 square kilometers of total land area, a speck in comparison to Earth's total land area, Scotland, and the Northeast in particular, hosts a beautiful array of diverse marine mammals. Marine mammals can be classified into 4 categories: cetaceans, pinnipeds, sirenians, and marine fissipeds. Northeast Scotland is home to a vast array of these creatures, including incredible cetaceans such as the humpback, mink, and killer whales, white-beaked and bottlenose dolphins, and harbor porpoises. There is also the marine fissiped sea otter. Most of these animals have been documented in the Ythan Estuary. However, there are 2 species of marine mammal in particular belonging to the pinniped group that, alongside being prominent among the northeast Scottish coast, appear in droves at the Ythan: the grey seal and the harbour seal.
The Ythan estuary mudflats boast a resource-rich environment for many organisms, from birds to fish to seals to reside in. Because of the prominence of such animals, tourism has increased over the last few years in the area. The grey and harbour seals are arguably the biggest attraction to the locals and tourists, as they gather year-round for the haul-out. These haul-outs happen on a regular basis throughout the year, with the size patterns being influenced by environmental changes such as tides or the species breeding patterns. Despite bearing a striking resemblance to one another, the grey and harbour seals differ quite significantly. If you look closely at the heads of the harbour seals, you will notice that they have a dog-like head with round eyes in front, whereas the grey seals has an oval-shaped head with a long nose and eyes to the side. Additionally, adult harbour seals can reach 1.5 meters in length and weigh up to 100 kilos, while an adult grey seal can reach up to 2 meters in length and weigh up to 300 kilos. Furthermore, harbour seal pups are born grey and have the ability to swim immediately after birth, whereas the grey seal is born with white hair, which molts over after 3 weeks of staying in a colony, allowing them to swim. Despite their morphological differences, both species live in a natural harmony at the Ythan.
Farvey is the northernmost point of Aberdeen Bay, which is the 5th largest sand dune system in Britain. The Ythan Estuary Beach is located at the mouth of the Ythan River, which empties into the North Sea. The sands in the area are part of a mobile system which is not rooted together by plant life, allowing them to shift with the wind and sea movements. Additionally to the vast diversity present on the landscape, the Ythan is also a popular spot for human activities spanning centuries into the past and continuing to this day. In the 15th century, Newburgh had solidified itself as a bustling port, mainly due to their shipment of wool and timber. This popularisation stemmed from their lower dues as compared to Aberdeen, which eventually led to Aberdeen taking matters into their own hands and immobilising trading ships in Newburgh in 1573. In the late 1950s to early 60s, the land of Farvey was covered in sheep and cattle, leading to overgrazing and overcultivation of the land, consequently leading to a sand influx. Human utilisation of the Ythan has not ceased as time progressed, and modern-day uses continue to alter the geography and diversity of the land.
The Ythan Estuary is a very important area for a vast number of wildlife species. It provides a safe place to live, feed, rest and breed. However, when humans intervene with the natural environment, many anthropogenic problems can arise. A key detrimental impact on the environment caused by humans is runoff pollution generated by rural farming close by. This results in fertilisers high in nitrate leaking into groundwater and nearby rivers, eventually flowing into the Ythan Estuary and the sea. The introduction of the high concentrations of nitrates causes algal blooms, which restrict the growth of invertebrates and small marine organisms, which reduce the food supply available for other organisms and disrupts the food web present at the Ythan. Other anthropogenic factors can be seen more directly, such as leisure activities and sports. Tourists have recently flocked to the area due to past sightings of humpback whales and the frequent occurrence of seal haulouts. Often those visiting the Ythan for tourism purposes use personal cars which are parked near the Ythan estuary in large car parks. These car parks collect some of the waste products from cars and humans which run into the neighbouring grasses and hills when the rain falls. The golf course at the Ythan has also drastically altered the contours of the land and consequently the wildlife who reside there. Dog walkers are some of the most common visitors to the sands of the Ythan, many not using leashes on their pets. This has caused many documented disturbances of dogs chasing seals whilst they are on the shore, and even humans actively and purposely disturbing the seals whilst they are trying to rest. Recreational fishing of salmon, sea trout and flounder is also a common activity at the Ythan estuary, carried out on a moderate scale which can potentially have a knock-on effect to the seals at the Ythan as well as other marine animals who live there.
A common belief held by some in the Newburgh area is that seals have a strong impact on the salmon population. While the nature of this impact is still unclear, a view that some locals and even organizations such as the River Ythan Trust take is that if the grey seals can swim fast enough to catch salmonids at every stage of their life cycle, then they must be responsible for their decrease. However, the few studies that have been done suggest that there is no clear correlation between the rising seal populations and the salmon population decrease at the Ythan. A reserve has seen a rise of 2,000 units at Newburgh haulout sites between 2009 and 2019, leading some people to hold concerns regarding the increase. The Marine Scotland Act of 2010, which designated new seal haulout spaces, led to a 2015 proposition that the whole estuary must be a designated protection site, which drew criticism from the public. A 2017 survey showed 67% of respondents voicing dissatisfaction with the policy, citing denial of public access and fishing impacts as the primary fears.
Currently, the northern part of the Ythan Beach, as shown in this diagram, is the designated seal haulout site and exists year-round. However, not all marine mammals in northeast Scotland are awarded the same level of protections. The damages that the Ythan estuary and its unique flora and fauna face due to the actions of humans serve as just a small-scale example of how we are now determining the fate of the planet. Neither the Ythan, northeast Scotland, or the Earth will ever be the same due to our complex and tragic relationship with the environment.